welcome Przemek and Jakub. And first of all, thank you very, very much for building this awesome space. I know you invested a lot of hours into building it. And yeah, I give the word to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Alison Krang. And guys, I want to introduce you Przemek Danowski, the great artist and the audio engineer who's called half hacker, half bard. Przemek is keen of immersive audio, all the things that you can make with the attention of the audio or the aesthetic and interactive way. He also worked in different variable projects, basic of interaction, art, and sound. And I think he will be the best guy for us today to show you the path of our research, of our virtual reality projects. So Przemek, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Jakub. I just wanted to also introduce in a short Jakub, who is a professor at the Fine Arts Academy in Warsaw at the New Media Department, who is also a video operator, very talented. And we are working together since many years. So we've developed together number of projects, and it always was a wild ride and great pleasure to work together. So yes, welcome everybody. And our collective, our artistic collective is we are doing this in 3-person team mostly together. Today we are with Jakub, but there is also Andrei Isakov, who is our Unreal Engine specialist and programmer, and we're doing those things together. All of those projects were developed by us, and those projects that we will present together today. Yeah, and what I would like you to follow me, because this presentation space that Jakub built is designed as a path. So we will walk through those projects, and I will stop and tell about different stages of development so you can know more about the things we do. Okay, so please follow me and listen to my voice if you will lose yourself in this vast meta space. So come on here, come over here, please. Here I am. The first project that we want to present is called Love Story. And actually this project is our latest one. We developed that, the development took 2-3 years. There was also some delay because of the pandemics, but everything started with a concept of capturing couple that was having sexual intercourse using the motion capture system. And Jakub was working with a choreographer, and she designed this kind of intercourse-like movements session. But at the end, the decision was that we want to capture actual intercourse. So Jakub did a lot of research and talking with people he knows, and one couple that were friends of Jakub agreed to do this project and take part as actors in it.
Maybe like more like performers. Hiro got a sketch and the design of the first version of the project. So in the beginning, there was the idea to capture 3 people together in the one space. The one person is you, I as an interactor, and then the people that you can interact with. The most important thing, as Przemek said, was to capture the real connection between the people, and we did it. We made a special suits for them and used the motion capture system to capture the movement. Come here, please.
Yeah, because the actual thing is much more expressive than even best acting. So here you can see screen from the session, and of course there was a great care of those people to have intimacy that was intimacy for them, so they can feel comfortable and safe in during this project. So yeah, let's go to the next session, next screen, and here you can see video that is a presentation of the outcome of this. Oh, here is playing. This is the outcome of this motion capture. So we had these skeletons, skeleton movements, and the next thing was to find an visual style for this dynamic sculpture. It was important to find something that will allow us to connect with the ideas that were presented at the 90s versions visualizations of VR. We were inspired by such movies as, I don't know if you know this great piece called Lawnmower Man. This is this early 90s sci-fi movie with Pierce Brosnan about using VR, and actually they used VR headsets created by Jaron Lanier and his VPL company, and there was a scene of having sex inside VR, which was really impressive for us, and we thought that maybe this is something that we want to try and test as a kind of this embodiment session. So at the next screen, you can see a style of visuals that we decided to use. We wanted to have this fluid-like feeling of connection between bodies that are not real bodies, but meta bodies. So this is like having intercourse in totally different way.
And we just want to have these forms and have this project very reactive. We don't want to use the simple mesh that you can put your hands head on and see the polygons. We want to people who take part in this project and put the headset on feel the flow of the fluid, have agency and feel the real action that they can manipulate with this this kind of reactive fluid. So it was very important for us to develop the way that you can really touch this body, make these fluids go forward and connect them and touch them in this experience. So it was the topic that was the most important for us.
Yeah, and we found out that this is a kind of post-sexual intercourse, because if you don't have a physical body, what is the mean to have an intercourse? And this was the question that was the main topic of this work. So we imagined that maybe we can find some other ways to interact that will also have this sexual context, but in this new post-sexual and telematic way, because this would be a connection with these two people that are recorded and yourself in this virtual space. Next video is a presentation of a trailer that we created. We can play it here, so you can see how this was, how this display was working from the third-person perspective.
And we realized that we don't want to play with these forms of people because these meshes are quite similar to human body look. So later we try to make these bodies more fluid without any context of gender and the visual of the gender.
Yeah, but we were already happy with the outcome because this proved that our idea about looking for other visuals for the sexual content is possible. So on the next screen, we have an alternative version that was closer to what we were looking for. So the version that doesn't have so much human-like shapes, rather more these shapes are created from those fluid-like shapes, but we don't have the mesh of the actual body used. I don't know if it's working for. Oh yeah, it's playing.
So there is the option if you want to see this project, because we've got the build of this project online. And Przemek, in the end, can we share this project with you guys?
Yeah, so we can type the address in the chat, and you can download. It's on itch.io, and you can play with it for yourself. Of course, if you have VR equipment, and this is a PC VR experience. But before that, let's go and talk a bit about also sound, which is my department. So we wanted to have some tactile response, kind of a tactile response in this project. And what I'm working on for many years already now is virtual reality music instruments. So these are virtual objects that you can play with music, but only in virtual space. And we use that concept of virtual reality music instruments to introduce something that will remind a kind of a touch, because there is this saying that sound is a touch at a distance. So sound can be used as a kind of a touch. And if you are touching these bodies, they are emitting sounds that are based on very nice library of orgasm sound that is created by a company that is producing sex toys, and they created this site where you can upload your sound of your orgasm, and it creates very nice visuals around it. So there is this open crowdsourced library of orgasm sound, which is documentary. We didn't want to use any kind of content that it comes from fake actors imitating sex, or taken from porn movies or something like that. But we wanted to have really documentary type of sound used in a creative way, in the same manner as we use with the visuals. So here you can see a video that we used for presentation at the Amsterdam Film Festival. Imagine Amsterdam Film Festival. We invited 2 actors to play with the experience, and we recorded them in this virtual environment, virtual production environment. And we presented both worlds. So we presented the virtual world and the actual one. Let's watch some of this registration without me talking. But you can hear already that those sounds, those voice sounds, come from the interactions with these objects. So this is a performative act and not something rendered. On the technical part, we use granular synth to create those interactive sounds. So you play on samples of those orgasms, and you can, if you attach harder the model, the sound will be louder and noisier, and it also changes with time, and it depends on the place where you are touching the object.
It actually also was experiment with the other couple who was kind of people who are using these their bodies in different way. So we put the couple in the project when we capture another couple. So it was interesting how they're gonna react and how is their response to this situation.
So the thing that I really liked is that the longer time you are trying to play with this kind of instrument, the better you are in playing on it. It's like with the real instrument. At first you will just produce some noises, and afterwards you are able to manipulate in more gentle way with it, and you can actually find this kind of effects that you want to achieve. You will find the way you want to play on it. So it works like a kind of a music sonic instrument. And here are the photos from a different presentation of this piece. We did it in a very renowned gallery in Białystok in Poland called Arsenal. And this was special in a way that we were able to arrange the space around the experience in a way that, as you can see, the background of the color background of the experience is this kind of pinkish color, and we were able to use that color to paint the walls in the room. And also we were able to use external sound system. So and the headset we were using was the Valve Index. What was in those speakers around? It was the surround the soundscape, but also the sounds of the reverberation of the interactions. The actual interactions were heard only in the off-ear headphones on the headset, and the reverberation was in on the speaker system. So it created this kind of very immersive sonic environment, and we've connected with those pink walls. You had this really nice smooth transition from the real space to the virtual one. Okay, so let's move on to the last presentation from the love story piece. And here is a video presenting how we work with the virtual reality, virtual production. Does it play or not? Sorry. Can you see the video? Because, Jakub, is it playing?
I think it's not playing, but it's played before. It was playing before.
It played before, yeah. Maybe it's loading or something like that. Let's try to play it. Maybe we need to, for example, move forward.
For me,
I don't know.
Playing.
It's playing?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, okay. I will just tell a little bit without seeing what's on the video. So here is a presentation how we work with the virtual environment with these actors and in a studio. So as you can see, there is this green screen room, which was tracked. The camera movement were tracked live. So we were able to connect the virtual environment with the actual one and create this kind of presentation. And the actors were already in different virtual environments. So this was like another layer to this virtual world. So this was interesting because that happened in 3 different spaces at the same time. And if you count in the stream for the Imagine Film Festival in Amsterdam, it actually makes it even more another layer. Okay, so if you want to try the project, I will try to type in the chat the address right now, so you can download it. Or maybe no, maybe I will leave that for the end of the presentation, because everyone will go out and try the project. And
maybe we can make the situation that everyone who asks a question get a link.
No, I think I will put the link, or maybe you, Jakub, will do that.
Yeah,
can do. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's go to another stage of the presentation, which is a project called Connection. Okay. So I will.
Excuse me. Can I just ask a question? When you share the link,
of course.
When you share the link, is it possible that we get it? Because I'm in VR and it's really strange to click on chat.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. So yeah, well, if you type in INEXISISTENS in Google, you will find the link because it's on itch.io, and it's just free access. So INEXISISTENS, as we have in the description of our at the festival, I guess the name should be somewhere there. And anyway, you can also write us at our mails, or I don't know if our credentials are available in the descriptions, but they should. So we will provide you the link this way or another. Okay. Okay. So this project called Connection is the project about virtual reality music instruments, and that was also inspired by the research done by Jaron Lanier, who did such music instrument that you can play in virtual reality. He did that in the late 80s already, previous century. So what he did was an instrument that was kind of a controller for the actual synthesizer, but you could control it using the virtual reality. And using this idea, we developed an instrument that is not working like classical instrument, but rather in this kind of magical way. So if you move hands around the sphere, you can pan the sound around the space. The maybe it will loop. Yeah, it should loop. So the instrument had this kind of round sphere shape, and the idea was that it will react to the touch of the performer. And the title Connection was reflecting this concept of connecting with the audience by spatial audio. So the audience was surrounded by the system of speakers, and when I moved the hands around the sphere, I could pan the sound around the audience. There was a large sound system around the audience. And the other thing is that there is a kind of pre-composed track used as a source for manipulations of the sound, and the position of the hand, the distance of the hands from the sphere was a way to modulate that sound. So you can hear those this granular type of sound So I could bend this sound. I could stretch it. I could make it more harsh or softer. I could go inside the sphere and change the point of hearing also. So this this was a proof of concept that you can create a music, a kind of a meta music with such instrument that doesn't sound like any typical instrument. Then you don't play on music scales using it, but rather you manipulate some different other aspects of the sound qualities. And what happened last month was that we had a guest at our university, and it was Jean-Michel Jarre, and we were able to present it to him. And as you know, Jean-Michel Jarre uses different kinds of instruments in his shows. So that was really a great experience to present that to him, and he was really interested. And what we hope is that maybe in his upcoming tour, he will use that. So yeah, it's gonna be a nice thing if we could present that in this or other way to wider audience. And we all, as you can hear, this project connection was a project that we developed before Love Story. So the mechanics of the sounds that are used in Love Story come from the research and the practice from this project. And yeah, this is the way we use that and adapt it to different sounds, to other type of sounds, so those orgasm sounds. And during the presentation for Jean-Michel Jarre, we used actually his first piece from the Oxygen album. So he was really amazed that this works really well, and it was done on the big Atmos hall that we have at our university. So we have this very large loudspeaker system surrounding the audience from the top, from the sides, front, back. And we translated those signals using Atmos panners to be able to manipulate the sound around this Atmos hall. So this was really well enveloping the audience. Okay, so we can move to the next stage and the next project. Oh yeah, here is the photo, as you can see from with the Jean-Michel Jarre and ourselves after the presentation. Yeah, it was really amazing experience to be able to showcase that to such legendary person in the electroacoustic music. And okay, let's go to the next. One more thing is that Jakub, I believe, placed here a link for our itch.io page, where you have all three projects that we are presenting today. You can download it. All those projects are PCVR, so they don't work on autonomic devices such as Quest. But Quest via link with PC, it will play. It will work okay. Okay, let's go further. Hello. Follow me here. Yes. So this is everybody's here? No, not all. Not everyone. Hello. Is everybody here? Hello. Yeah, okay. So this is a project called Bardo, and this project was developed by us as our first team project. We did that before the pandemic, so a lot of time ago. And this project was based on the Tibetan Book of the Dead. So Tibetan Book of the Dead is a book about how you can survive after the death in the space between life and death. So Tibetans believe that you are in this space called Bardo, and you are trying to avoid being reborn, because being reborn, being alive, is connected with pain and suffering. So if you want to be happy, you need to not to you want to not to be reborn. And so you are traveling through different stages of the Bardo and looking away for a way to avoid this rebirth. And we developed this project as a kind of a level-based project. So you can see there's stages, 6 different stages of the project. You can travel between them, but only in one direction at first. So you are traveling through those different spaces. And this project is a kind of, I guess, extended gallery show. So it was developed as a location-based experience for a specific gallery. That was a gallery of the Fine Arts Academy in Warsaw. And we recreated the physical space in the virtual one. So those spaces were very directly aligned. And after you, after putting the headset on, you could see the same walls, ceiling. It was all the same, but there were, of course, some virtual elements added to it. And every space has a different mechanics and different task to you have different tasks on each space, and you can meet different objects and different entities that are kind of living and non-living entities. And of course, we treated differently visuals of each level, and the sound was different. For example, one level was the sound for one level was based only on the sounds that are coming from the input from the microphone. So you have this strange type of reverberation, and you could see also object that is talking with you with your own words. So you could speak with yourself and to reflect yourself in the sound in a way. And the last stage, I don't want to spoil the project for you, but I guess I need to have this presentation in full. So the last level, last stage was a stage when maybe I can move forward the video. I don't know if I'm moving for myself or for everyone, but the last stage, on the last stage you have a coffin, and to end the experience you need to lay down physically in this virtual coffin. And if you do that, the project restarts because you are not able to be released from the samsara wheel, samsara loop. Yeah, this is the coffin, the virtual coffin. I don't know if the video is online for everyone in the time, but now I can see the coffin.
We see the coffin, yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, so you can see. And what was interesting that during the presentation for the public, people actually lied down in the coffin and they understood that it has to be done like that. So we didn't use any suggestions other than visual, and there was no text like or other UX support for that. You just needed to think a little bit what you need to do. There was of course a sound that was Like if you were closer to the coffin, it was more inviting you to hear what's happening there. And many people said that they could feel the fire on their face if they were lying inside the coffin. So there was this kind of sensory motor loop reaction for the visuals and the sound. It was also very interesting. We did presentation of this project on some festivals, but actually we found ourselves before making it sending it to festivals around the world. We had trouble because as it was site specific, it wasn't ready for pure electronic distribution, and we were able to send that to festivals which were taking place only in not even in hybrid form, but there was this hardcore lockdown and everything was in virtual space. So yeah, and it wasn't ready to send to people for them to experience that, because the things were aligned with the room and we were ready, prepared to create different spaces for different festivals to align those spaces with the actual ones that were presentation rooms. But yes, afterwards we were able to present that, and we showcased all our projects in May this year in New Images in Paris. Yeah. Okay. So, Kuba, do you want to say anything more about Bardon?
We want to share with you guys links to the audio from our project. You can find it in Apple Music and the Spotify. If you would like to listen the great and immersive sounds made by Przemysław. You can also take part in our project using each IO. And I think there is not so much space. So if you want to talk with us, we can move a little bit after this blue space, and maybe we can have a little talk right here. If you got any questions, we are here just to chat and talk about how you feel. Maybe you find something similar or something interesting in our project, or you disagree if some of our artistic decisions. So we are now for you guys.
Thank you very much for this amazing tour. I'm waiting until the rest passes the somehow curtain tissue, whatever.
Yeah, it's hard to orient oneself. Maybe I'll go back and see if someone got lost the direction because there's lines. Ah, there's people.
Yeah, please also could you enter the HIO link in the chat so people can click on it. You did it?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see.
We're over on the other
I
side.
don't see it, but maybe you did it earlier and my chat thing has deleted. Yes, now I see it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we're now open for questions for you guys. If you have, or maybe you need time to digest all the awesome projects.
So I heard a question, what are our next project, or what will be our plans?
Of course.
So now we are focused on streaming from the Unreal Engine. We are thinking about streaming our content for 8 weeks. So we are working with some generative levels, some generative articles written by artificial intelligence, and we are now developing some kind of a screen project that we can send the link and we can embed it and to stream directly from the engine the narration, which is focused on the consciousness of the planet consciousness. So I think we're gonna finish this project on March. Maybe Przemek wanna say something more about this project. Or maybe no.
I think it's interesting project because it reflects the actual concepts about if the ecological crisis, what is the reason of it, and how we can prepare for that. There is a lot of thinking of like this, having bad thoughts about what is our future, and I believe that this project might be some kind of other voice in this narration, not
Yeah,
only
we're focused on
pessimistic.
the hypothesis of media and the idea that Earth has some kind of consciousness and the Earth can be a living being. And if something didn't work, it
Yeah.
can destroy the life itself. So
yeah. If the Earth is sentient, so
yeah,
if it's sentient, maybe the ecological crisis and the eradication of human beings is on purpose, because we are doing so many bad things here.
yeah, maybe we are the glitch that should be yeah, destroyed or rewrite again.
Will you be using the body as well as a way to explore that concept and like gestures and physicality?
In this the project about the Earth consciousness,
Yeah, exactly.
we are thinking about different way how we can approach this idea. We are now developing some landscapes that can change in time using AI, and how we can model a different way of showing the texture of the earth, water, lakes in different kind of aesthetic. And we also are thinking about some new way of graphic design to communicate the problem nowadays, on what will be the graphic design and how you can describe the whole issue that is taking place nowadays in the future. So we have different kind of research that we're trying to make this kind of stream, but I don't think we want to use the bodies or the representation of the body in this project. I think we are a little bit exhausted of using the body and using the VR. So maybe now we want to have some space to use a different kind of topology and different aesthetic. But I think we will back to this issue for sure. Yeah.
And with that makes perfect sense. I think moving away from the body to talk about a concept that doesn't really have that at the core. But I'm wondering, based on your research and your explorations that you showed us, it is research, but what core things can we take away in terms of like what you learned from that process, and how, like, for example, with this next project, perhaps it's not using the body per se, as you said, like in these past experiments, but what insights did you come across that now will inform the changes that you make in your next projects, and how can we like learn from that too?
Yeah, for sure. I can said that going through the VR and using headset is very similar to taking drugs. So the set and settings is very crucial. That you should make a space and a good feeling and make the proper exhibition, the proper tools of constructing the space to have the proper feeling in the virtual space. Because the kind of embodiment is very quick and very simple in virtual reality, but you should work with the aesthetic of this being, the aesthetic of this kind of the illusions that they are making during the virtual space.
Yeah, what I found is that one thing is that we proved that virtual reality allows you to interact with the digital world in more tactile way. Yeah, and it can be the main core and the body of the experience, which is not the case when I'm watching those experiences that are popular within the film festivals, which are more based on narration in the more classical way, like movie way. And I don't find many VR experiences that are more open to having not story told by someone or in a way, but focus on the mechanics and the sensory-motor loop. And this is what I think is most interesting for us to explore this connection and the possibilities of manipulating the digital words and the digital bodies, embodiment, and so on, in this more connected to body way.
Yeah, storytelling without storytelling. There is the clue.
Yeah.
So it's experience.
Yeah, more or less.
More or less.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any other questions? I think some people might still be stuck behind that screen. No?
No.
Well, I just want to thank you so much. As per usual, we will have we will be available, and both of you everyone can actually join back in the main arena. We'll be up there if anyone has any questions. Sometimes you want to ask a question one-on-one, so it's totally possible there, since sound-wise you can kind of find a little corner and go into that. So I just want to thank a round of applause for our speakers. Thank you so much, and also thank you so much for building this world to help explain. This was fantastic, going on this journey with you and kind of going space by space into this kind of strange world that you brought us into. But it's super exciting, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Alison, and thank you the amazing Raumwelten crew and the technical support and all people that are making this festival happen.
Thank you, Jakub. Thank you, Przemek.
Yeah.
Talk to you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Experimenting with us, because this is an experiment. But again, we as you guys are too, we want to push the boundaries of what is possible. Thank you for coming on this journey with us and also helping us push those boundaries with your presentation space, and also the research that you do.